you don't need to fix, you're now dealing with the 50% other problems in the world,
Mm.
right? You're trying to fix the schools and fix the hospitals and fix the foreign policy and fix the fiscal policy. And you're trying to, let's say it a different way. Why is the currency collapsing? Because of all these policy interventions. So if you want to fix the currency, you have to fix 100 things that are radical, that are highly confrontational, that no one can agree on. If you want to fix the fiat currency, or you can simply educate people that Bitcoin is better than gold, and Bitcoin will be $1 million a coin, and you're not going to fix any of those other things. You're just going to fix Bitcoin, and you're going to make everyone that supports Bitcoin 100 times as powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And so you see, like, do you want to actually incrementally do good, or do you just want to fight?
Experts believe that this crypto winter has been one of the most brutal that the investment community has ever seen. Major cryptocurrencies have suffered a brutal come down this year, losing most of their values since their massive success rally in 2022. But the market's hype around the Ethereum merge upgrade has spiked new hopes again. Only time will tell if the Ethereum merge upgrade will be as successful as is being anticipated, but it surely has aided the present condition of the crypto market. Hello and welcome to Money Talks. In today's video, Michael Saylor talks about Bitcoin's role as a commodity, reasons behind the currency collapse, and the best ways to build Bitcoin adoption. Make sure to stick around till the end of the video, where Saylor speaks about extreme toxicity in the crypto space. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notifications. So without wasting any more time, let's dive right into the video.
I can see the benefits of speaking truthfully and putting information on the record. But the issue with the toxicity is, like, if you're toxic to me, Alex, do you know what I do on Twitter when someone's toxic to me? I look for about 100 milliseconds, block, and never think about them for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you literally will get 100 milliseconds. I don't type, you've been rude, I'm blocking you, right? I'm not going to literally click more than one button. I'm going to block. And when I do, you will never, ever, right, be able to engage in my stream ever again. So I think the blue checks, they know that. They're like, if one of them is like, I wouldn't go and be rude to someone with 5 million followers because they just block me, and I will lose access to all 5 million of their followers forever. Maybe I would like to be able to say something to forget about the people. Think about the 5 million people underneath them, right? You need to get to those people. So being polite and constructive means that you stay engaged in the conversation. As soon as you you just slightly tweak it to be ad hominem, the best you can hope for is they mute you, but the more likely thing is they block you.
Bitcoin enters a new week with a question mark over the fate of the market ahead of another key United States monetary policy decision. After sealing a successful weekly close, its highest since mid-June, Bitcoin is much more cautious as the Federal Reserve prepares to hike benchmark interest rates to fight inflation. While many hope that the pair could exit its recent trading range and continue higher, the weight of the Fed is clearly visible as the week gets underway, adding pressure to an already fragile risk asset scene. The fragility is also showing in Bitcoin's network fundamentals as miner strain becomes real and the true cost of mining through the bear market shows. At the same time, there are encouraging signs from some on-chain metrics, with long-term investors still refusing to give in.
There's a political party and a political message, which is, the Libertarian Party reflects that message, less government, right? The Republican Party, reflects a slight difference from the Democratic Party, and the Libertarian Party reflects a bigger difference. The Ron Paul Libertarian Party kind of aligns closest with what the Bitcoiners would say, I think. I would say join that party, pursue those politics, but I would brand them as libertarian or create that party. I don't think I would conjoin it with Bitcoin. See, see, if your position is you think the government's overreached fiscally, you don't agree with their foreign policy, you don't agree with the tax policy, you don't agree with their domestic policy, you don't agree with their energy policy, you don't agree with their medical policy, you don't agree with their education policy, you don't agree with their trade policy, their tariff policy, their domestic manufacturing policy, their labor and union policies. Sure, but that's politics. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lifetime of fights. And remember back to Laser Eyes? Each one of those fights is just as hard. In fact, probably a lot harder than the Bitcoin fight. So I think that if you said you have to win all those fights for Bitcoin to be successful, right? You're picking 100 other battles to fight, and it's counterproductive and destructive, because we need those people. Right? There are people that, in the Democratic Party, we need them to support Bitcoin. There are people in the Republican Party, we need them to support Bitcoin. You might disagree with Republican politics. You might disagree with Democratic politics. The majority of the country, I don't know if it's 50% or 80%, but the majority of the country disagrees with the Libertarian Party. Otherwise, they would have elected somebody by now. Let's pick any of 100 challenges we have in this country. Name one thing out of the 100 biggest disagreements we have that we have worked through in a civil fashion in the past 10 years.
Zero. Yeah.
But so there aren't many, Alex, there aren't examples of political successes in the last 10 years. We don't have many. But there are plenty of examples of technology successes. Uber, technology success, right? Apple, Google, Netflix, Facebook, Disney Plus, WhatsApp, all the games, even arguably cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Technology successes, we have many. And why? Because technologies are neutral, apolitical. And there's a general consensus in this country that we are technology leaders.
And the week is already feeling different to last. Even before events begin unfolding, Asia marks are flat in comparison to last week's bullish tone, one which accompanied a resurgence across Bitcoin and altcoins. While one argument says that the Fed cannot raise rates much more without tanking the economy, meanwhile keeping the employment market as a target for keeping hikes coming.
So the point really is, if someone is really totally against property, rather than, you want to go campaign for regime change in North Korea? Like, what's that doing for your family, right? Like, how's that helping everybody in America? A better idea is you have 250 million or 350 million people in the United States that believe in property right in front of your face. Why don't you just go introduce Bitcoin to them and get 1,000 times more powerful?
Do you think
if you're going to go to war with another country, why don't you go ahead and get 1,000 times more powerful before you pick that fight? On the other hand, if you just embrace the actors and the institutions today, then you're being cooperative. And what we ought to be trying to do is persuade them and win them over.
In a sign that miners' troubles due to price weakness may only just be beginning, upheaval is now visible across the Bitcoin network. And difficulty, the measure of competition among miners, which adjusts itself relative to participation, has been declining since late June and is now back at levels not seen since March. And the most recent adjustment was particularly noticeable, knocking 5% off the difficulty total and heralding change in miner activity. And that was the largest single drop since May 2021, and the next, due in 10 days' time, is currently estimated to take difficulty down another 2%. As arguably the most important aspect of Bitcoin network itself, difficulty adjustments also set the scene for recovery by leveling the playing field for miners. The lower the difficulty, the easier or less energy intensive it is to mine Bitcoin due to there being less competition overall. In the meantime, however, the need to stay afloat remains a preoccupation, and data shows. According to CryptoQuant, miners sent 909 Bitcoin to exchanges on July 24th alone.
I think it's okay to say, look, Bitcoin is great for people that like property rights. And let me explain to you why this is aligned with property rights and freedom and technology and integrity. I think that's fine. I think flipping it and saying, no, we're freedom fighters, and so I'm going to go off to the Middle East and I'm going to fight for the freedom rights of, of this faction or that faction. Like, now you got the tail wagging the dog, or you lost the plot. The goal is not to fight over 100 other things. The goal is not to right all of the wrongs in the world that you disagree with. That's like angry young man behavior. The goal is to win. And the way you win is focus and don't make enemies.
The latest numbers from Crypto Fear and Greed Index show a steady decline from what has been the most positive market sentiment since April. The index stands at 30 of 100, still described as fear driving the model overall, but still 5 points above the extreme fear bracket in which the market previously spent a record 73 days. So what do you think about Bitcoin haters and toxicity in the space? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with the next video, and thanks so much for watching.